Are you like looking it up or something?
Kuroshiki. Yeah.
Part 3. Oh no, we say I have to be.
Oh. Traditional Japanese wrapping cloths used to wrap and/or transport goods, but they're as opposed to a traditional plain cloth, they're like designed to be really ornate.
Okay.
You've seen a bunch of furoshiki cloths, like in a
Probably.
bunch of different places.
Probably. Well, I understand you are the judicial assistant to the defense, but where does this sudden ingress into my courtroom?
A judicial assistant and a woman, no less. Ugh. Cancel ouchie. The rules state that females are not permitted in this court of law other than to testify.
I mean, it's not just ouchie, that is legitimately the rules, so.
Cancel feudal Japan. Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense. You're too late, little girl. This trial has already been concluded.
5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more.
But, Your Excellency! I am most grateful.
It is 19th century, which is feudal Japan. Who exactly are you?
I'm sorry, there's no time. Please, simply accept this for now.
What is it? A report about something. Written in English.
It's Giselle Braith's research.
The Englishwoman's?
After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper. Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she?
So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case?
God. I'm afraid I don't know. This case is like challenging my range to the extremes. Ugh. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself.
Oh, no, of course not.
Special characteristics of Q-Rare and its effects on human subjects. Interesting.
Curare? What's that? I've never heard that word before.
Or if it's Japanese, kurare.
It's not Japanese.
Time's up!
It's a real thing.
The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom. There was too little time for me to read it in detail. But I've summarized what I could on a note just inside the cover. If you think it would be valuable, please cast your eye over it.
This is wonderful, thank you.
God, that's so Japanese.
What?
If you think it would be important, like, it's like, just like the way that it's like written, it's like very like submissive or whatever. Goodbye then, and good luck. Like it's always.
You'd say it like curare?
Yeah, so
Curare?
kurare.
Yeah, but it's not Japanese. It's an English word.
So it would be curare.
Is it curare? Curare? Okay.
Curare, yeah.
Okay. You have had long enough, Counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer. I ask the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present the court? I presume not. But it's also Canadian too. Ouchie.
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Be important, eh?
Kurare.
Ryunosuke, we're out of options here. Oh, this is you.
Ryunosuke, we're out of options here. Really is our very last chance.
Yes, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence. That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett.
Yes, Your Excellency?
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer.
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not very long until tea time. I'll have to politely decline.
Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realized it was phrased as a question. However, I must ask you to treat that as an order.
I've said it many times before, but Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. So, Counsel, what is this new evidence that demands the court's attention?
I mean, obviously it's the new pamphlet, but we didn't get a chance to read it.
You can read it right now.
Yeah, can we examine it? The poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America, the hunters of the regions use this many times to incapacitate their prey. Instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. The above-mentioned effects occur when the poison enters the body through a wound, such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Due to its ability to render the human paralytic, it is believed that the toxin could have applications as an anesthetic. However, a solution from the respiratory arrest caused as a result of full-body paralysis must be found first, or the patient will die of suffocation.
Yep.
Was she in cahoots with Hada Clinic? And they put it as his, anesthetic?
I mean, I don't think he would have been able to go out to luncheon.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's the evidence, because that's the only thing we got that's new, so present it.
Mr. Zelbrat, we understand you are studying under Dr. Wilson at UMA University, doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence perhaps, into a deadly poison. By the way, I did look up UMA University. I didn't write it down, but from memory, it's essentially just prestigious university. But the Japanese name, I believe, is Ivy University, which is likely to be a reference to Ivy Leagues colleges.
Yeah, it's the same. It's a homage to it. It's the same people. It's the lineage for the Hada Clinic, right? Chad.
No. It's just the name's just a reference to Hada Clinic.
Oh, okay.
There's no connection other than it's just a fun reference.
What?
Poison? Where are you going with this, Counsel?
A toxin known as Q-Rare, Your Excellency. Even in the slightest amounts, this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
That's what a deadly poison does. Deadly poison leads to death. I'm shocked.
What? What complete and utter nonsense?
Ironically enough, if it's from South America and it's written the same way, it would be curare. So maybe it's curare this entire time.
Curare, you say?
From looking it up, I believe that's the English name. So.
I've never even heard of it.
You wouldn't have.
Is it lagging a bit?
You wouldn't have done.
What do you mean?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of Curare before, for one very simple reason.
19th century hottie? I don't know if there's a 19th century hottie, but this place is a dentist clinic anyways, so. Kazuma?
Yeah, it's actually Curare. That's what
Curare?
it is.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't exist in our country.
It doesn't exist? Correct, which means
No matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they'll never identify curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison.
Nani?
What?
Order, order, order! Council, does this deadly poison truly exist?
According to this report, authored by the visiting research student from England, curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
I'm pretty sure it's the poison from poison dart frogs.
Makes sense.
To lace their arrows? The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle.
Why do their arrows have laces?
It's pronounced curum, actually.
I canonically want that to be it now, but
It was first brought to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett? Trumpery! These aspersions are utter trumpery!
God.
You can't say the other word. You summon the beast.
To start with, if the victim has been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, it would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners would have surely noticed.
That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector?
Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that. I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain.
According to this, however, it's the other way around. What do you mean, the other way around? The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used.
Explain yourself, Counsel.
The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there'd be no visible signs of pain at all.
How terrible.
Obviously, if a man lost all his strength in his muscles, he'd collapse to the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed.
But I don't follow Kazuma. All the facts memorized. Rinsky cross-checks everything, yeah. I mean, Rinsky's not a lawyer. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death.
The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail.
Respiration?
In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. No breathing, don't give... And all the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move.
Partners after all.
It is! To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison. Curare, if you will.
Is the courtroom silent and you just kind of whisper that?
Curare.
And you're suggesting that this bottle, Counsel, was actually contains this terrifying poison?
This is all very convenient, isn't it? Here are two unknown poison, of which there's no means of testing. What a happy tale for the defense. If I may. All these facts, you think you're so clever, but you must be taught some
Shut up!
manners. It's you who must be taught. Oof, of course. Dear lady! So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it?
What?
To steal another's honest hard work and then announce the result as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act.
Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual.
Whatever do you mean?
Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime. That really is a loathsome act, wouldn't you agree?
Enough of this! I, for one, refuse to accept it! The idea of some poison doesn't even exist in the Great Empire of Pan is breaking the rules!
What's so funny?
Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett.
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, yes, I don't see, why not?
She's gonna drink it all.
No, Shady. Possible suspect, don't do that.
Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys.
Sorry.
To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games, these foolish courtroom antics, it's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers!
Yeah, 'cause she put the poison in the other glass that she took with her. It's not in the
Wait.
bottle.
What are you doing?
No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair.
Like, it's so obvious. If I was in court right now, I'd be like, excuse me, that doesn't prove anything.
I mean, especially since the bottle's implied to have come from the restaurant. So, like, who would slip the poison into the bottle?
Like, that's so dumb. Slip it into the glass and then take the glass with you.
Goodness.
You're thinking like a killer, Narrative.
Oh, listen.
Whatever's the matter, you all look quite stunned.
So, no curare.
The bottle was clean, is that what you're saying? You look quite incredulous, little boy, but of course, that is the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett.
I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance
of friendship between our countries.
Yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you have given.
Doesn't make sense. There has to have been poison in that bottle. So how did she? She coated her lips in anti-poison. How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? She's drank enough of that poison to build a tolerance for it. I don't understand it. But I suppose, if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for interesting conversation at the next party I attend to in London.
There has to have been poison in that bottle. Doesn't there?
That bottle's
But
poison.
there can't have been, because otherwise she would have killed over dead.
But there can't have been, cause she killed it.
Come on, Ryunosuke. We have all the clues now. The bottle of water.
Contains no poison.
Is a thought. There is no poison in that bottle.
What? Why, Ryunosuke?
Isn't it obvious? If there's poison in there, she'd be dead by now. Okay, cool name.
We can say that. Like, cool, I don't know. Can we say that on stream?
I mean, you can, but...
Sometimes your unadulterated naivety really astounds me. But sometimes it's in need of a good staining. Until it's as dark as your uniform in the ways of the world.
Oh, is that what this color is supposed to represent?
That was a guileless ending to a promising line of inquiry, Consul, for which you will be penalized.
Listen, I tried.
Ugh, this whole trial is poisoned.
So I
Hey,
guess it is
you sounded so
poisoned?
confident, I decided to just let it.
Listen, I guess so. That bottle is poison.
There has been poison in that bottle, doesn't there? I'm thinking the same things again. Word for word, I'm thinking the same things. Contains poison.
Contains no poison. No, it's fine.
Warning,
It's fine.
contains poison. The culprit did put curare poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position.
Yeah, that's not what that question. That's not what that multiple choice was saying.
What?
I agree that the culprit put poison in his water. I didn't say that it was in the bottle.
Didn't the question
was a
say whether
poorly-
the poison in the bottle?
The poison is not in the bottle. The question was: does the bottle contain poison,
Yeah,
or does the water contain poison?
it was the bottle.
Yeah, the bottle does not contain poison.
They just
The
said
water
it did.
contains poison.
They penalized you when he said it does not.
I don't believe it. Continue. You're serious.
Fool, are you blind? There's no possible way that a bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw.
Miss Brett drinking the water from it.
That's right, which rather complicates your argument, I think.
And I believe that complication can be explained.
How exactly?
Just need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be.
Very well, defense. If the defense truly intends to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume this supposedly poisoned water unscathed.
I don't know. Let's check.
Well, you seem unsure, so I'll start with a save.
Let's check that the notes on the curare again. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the last part. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest causes a result of full body paralysis must be found. And no, it's not that. I don't think it's in here. I go to the other one. I would assume it's either
The pin?
No, it's not the pin. Like maybe the purse showing the glass, but like that doesn't explain how she was able to consume this glass unscathed. So I don't know.
Do you need me to a guiding push?
Yeah, I mean, like, what do you think?
Well, Dragon's giving a guiding push. It looks like.
Look at the reports again. Made from the bark of certain trees, they've used it from ancient time to incapacitate their prey. Instant paralysis and subsequent death, even in minute doses. Through a wound. There we go. So I guess that's what it is. Through a wound, you can... Oh, because you can drink... I remember that now. There's, like, you can drink certain poisons.
You can drink venoms, usually.
Yeah, you can drink venoms, not poisons.
Because venoms need to be going to your bloodstream, not...
That...
Yeah.
Gosh.
The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report.
That's not a valid explanation.
No?
After all, we don't speak English. The report is utter gibberish. That impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. I'm just reading Susato-san's notes.
I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You will direct us to the pertinent section, Counsel. What section of the report reveals the alleged answer to this riddle?
Special characteristics? Are they in order of pages?
It said also at the top of each page.
Well, yeah, I just don't remember what the thing
Yeah,
was.
they were in order of pages. We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison. And it's left me curious about something.
Oh, Counsel.
Well, it seems as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years. To lace the heads of the arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting.
So we've been led to believe, yes.
And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat. You just said English for the future. He said that last week.
Get to the point, please.
But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat?
I never really thought about that.
Yes,
good point.
I know. I mean, I didn't think about it that way until he said
Right?
that,
Like,
and
if
I'm
you
just like,
poison an animal that you're hunting, there has to be a way you can eat it.
well, it can't be a poison that is poisonous to consume.
Ryunosuke, you surprised me.
So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison.
Good
You're
gracious,
eating
Counsel. No, that would be
poison.
madness.
No, that would be Sparta. But every time I found the answer to the conundrum, I actually found the answer to the conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound.
Through a wound, you say. I see. That makes sense.
Yes, the mention of the particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When curare enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever.
What?
Unless you
Miss
have a stomach
Brett.
ulcer.
You authored this research, you knew curare's special characteristics, and you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself. I mean, it feels fairly certain, but like, what if you just got an ulcer?
That's why it worked with Wilson, because he just had dental surgery.
You meddling little.
I just gotta say,
even
that's a huge gamble for her, because like, there's a small chance you have just developed like an ulcer or something.
Right? That's what
It's-
I'm saying.
it's
If she has
thin.
an ulcer, she's gonna be dead.
It's a thin chance, but like, I wouldn't risk that.
Her bird's alive! Rapscallion!
Rapscallion!
Well, Brenowski, it turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be.
Really? Me? A lawyer?
All this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure. But I fail to see how it possibly...
So the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with? Some facts he read in a book? But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly.
What are you trying to say?
Your schoolboy's logic has a fatal flaw.
Schoolboyish?
Flaw? As even your brains has managed to deduce, QRA is safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric sucus.
Oh, yes, well, of course. Gastric suckers? What are they?
So, if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he?
Ah,
That's right.
Good gracious.
That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand. No? Yeah, but he had dental surgery!
Order in court. The logical is, if the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected in the same way.
Are you trying to suggest that he had dental surgery?
Yes, this QR poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial.
That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that.
she turned black and white. She's a photograph.
A photographic print!
What is this, welling up inside of me? I've never felt like this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey.
Oh my god, it's genetic, like Phoenix writes, like...
Yeah, genetic. It runs in the family.
Being a defense attorney is a genetic trait.
The desire to point out contradictions is genetic.
Oh, yeah,
there's a chromosome.
specifically the desire
There's a chromosome for pointing out contradictions.
Oh my god!
Also, that was his first objection, as Dragon pointed out.
I'm so sorry. I'm just lost in the thought that that pointing out contradictions is a genetic trait. Oh.
I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett. The C chromosome.
I see. How dare you use that tone with me? Look at those lenses.
I mean, she's
Go
holding
back
them
and
further
play
out.
The audio
No, there's no way to. Why?
in the history, maybe.
No, you can't replay audio.
Oh, that's unfortunate. We'll hear it again.
The objection?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll hear many more objections in this game, don't worry. You know very well that there is no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You're alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead.
Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence, as we now know that this poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by that curare?
Had a clinic. Dental procedure.
This?
Yeah. Take that!
As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the same water as the.
She drank the same waiter.
No.
Strapping.
However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. Oh yeah, you can't hear it in the extra menus, but those spoilers there, so we're avoiding that for now.
Fatal difference.
That's giggity. The toxic effects of QRA are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water?
Thank you, Dragon.
Inside?
What? Didn't catch what?
That the dental surgery.
Oh, yeah. I think you caught it quicker than me, because you said it, I think, early on than when I figured it out, but...
Yeah, well, I'm always constantly reminded of dental surgery being like an open wound affair because of when I got my wisdom teeth removed. I got all 4 at the same time, and I didn't get any kind of medication afterwards. Long story, but it's very painful, so the trauma is always just there.
Yes, like the wound you might have. If you have just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example.
A cool name. Get thirsting so hard over Hosonaga.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Hosonaga can get it. But
Hosanaga's well dressed, I'll say that much.
yeah, I don't know why he's coughing up blood though. That's it's concerning.
I mean, maybe that's Cool Name's thing, so... there's probably a fetish for that. I'm done saying this now. Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. Miss Brett, do you have something to exclaim?
Did I not? Did you not hear me?
No, it cut out.
I said, ah! I was channeling my inner Peach. So that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this. Oh no, that was Kirby. Kirby's the one that goes,
Is she laughing?
I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are all so puerile.
What do you mean?
Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough.
That sounds like torture, Shady.
For I, too, have had dental surgery. You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it.
No.
I mean, it could just slip.
do you really think that they can't just get evidence?
Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed.
No! What is it? What just happened?
What just happened? It's the English woman. She just smashed the bottle.
In the Supreme Court? What a terrible blunder. We need a system for when there's outcries like that.
Oh no, I thought on purpose like that we both say it like because like they're all talking to each other, so it's like a crowd, right? It's like
I guess that works. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much of the water from the broken bottle as possible at once.
You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet on my feet was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you, it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it.
Yeah, rabble. How could you? You won't get away with this.
You can't thump the bench and shout. You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was a poison in the bottle or not. You. And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact.
Well, have a good night, Cool Name.
Will do.
Is that right, counsel for the prosecution? Of course, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear lady? That's right, and really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me,
You'd think that, Shady.
so of course the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
Objection!
No, you killed the victim that day, using curare. And then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you'd arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden handgun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor in his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime.
What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And shoot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence. Exactly! And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Ugh. This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her, but now, is she really going to get away with it? The way she destroyed the evidence was obscene.
Ryunosuke,
Yes?
we've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it.
What do you mean?
We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there's any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head.
Shady, I don't think they have mistrials yet. Or juries. In my head.
You told me before that your powers of observation were one thing you could really depend on.
Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head.
So think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about this scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell.
What I saw, what I felt.
Every color.
Every color.
Smell.
Is Kazuma right? Is that steak juice that's on the plate? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer?
I guess so. Yeah, there would have to be.
Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Think back over everything I saw. I think I might have uncovered another clue.
Haha! You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke?
I mean, whoever has ketchup with steak is a monster.
Come on then, let's wipe that smug smile off that Englishwoman's face with some evidence.
Alright, I can't wait. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories that day. Whatever could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. It's here somewhere, the clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's real killer must have been is.
I wonder what. Definitely not that red spot that wasn't a thing until just now.
This?
Definitely not that. Stake that!
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yes, what is it? He's still miles away, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you've said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. Are you wearing soup? Oh no, Shady. I wonder
I'm
if
sorry.
that steak that was way too far. That should be a bannable offense.
I'll see myself out now.
I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
What are you going with? Where are you going with this, little boy?
RKO'd out of nowhere. It's just a memory that's been troubling me.
What memory?
I saw the scene showed in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. I mean, I was there. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a spattering of blood. You cut out, but I saw your lips move for the what.
Oh.
What?
Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor. The bullet didn't go all the way through.
No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph. Take a good look at the photograph. In the relative position.
It made me laugh.
In the relative position of everything there makes me laugh.
The plate of steak is.
The plate of steak
directly behind
is
the
almost
victim.
directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way the blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. I mean, what do you know of physics, Ryunosuke?
Yes. For blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies that the plate was between the victim and the shooter.
Which means... Oh, silly.
Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor as you were. Giselle Brett? I beg your pardon? She's just real cockney. Oh, I beg your pardon?
This is beyond ridiculous, fabricated nonsense. Is the court seriously supposed to expect to believe something the accusers apparently just remembered seeing?
Who said hold it there? Is that me?
Hosonaga,
Oh,
apparently.
that's-
This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to.
Reveals the plate with blood on it.
Inspector, you mean... Yes, I took the plate in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. Like, why didn't he notice the blood, though?
Yeah, right?
I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it.
You did what?
I took the steak you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice.
In the name of justice, I will steal the
Then-
steak.
Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now. What did you miss in the last 2 minutes? I don't think anything relevant because you were here when we saw the bloody plate. Where
Yeah.
he's Hosonaga admitted that he took the plate, like he
Yeah,
does
he
for
took the
everything,
steak, and
And-
he took everything.
and they're gonna bring it out.
Inspector, the court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Anything you want, sir?
Maybe I should have done a more wheezy voice with this coughing of blood. Sorry for the delay. That would have killed my throat, though. Here's what you ordered. The steak. Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it?
Isn't.
I didn't catch most of that, but...
Quickly, Inspector, the blood man, show the court.
Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure. Also, that steak is like 3 days old, and I assume not refrigerated? I don't know, maybe... kept it on ice or something.
Oh no!
No, no blood. No blood anywhere. But no, that's impossible! I know I saw it. I'm sure of it.
Still has its juices on the table.
It was right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate.
Huh. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you.
The goose just, like, squawked. Ugh.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire.
Why would the swan not be alive, Shady?
I believe we may have finally reached a conclusion in this trial.
Also, fun fact about swans in England. All swans in England are owned by the Queen. All wild swans.
Let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt at court proceedings is painful to watch.
Untitled Swan Game. It's just more violent.
But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over.
I don't think we could have an Untitled Swan game. They'd have to at least rate a M.
Yeah, it's just carnage.
It's just more bloody than Grand Theft Auto.
Ha! This sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly. If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest.
I mean, I guess so. Can we examine that steak?
Was the plate I saw, or thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? We can.
Can you rotate it?
Oh, I already clicked here.
What's that?
Huh? What in the world is this?
I think it's a Koban coin. It's a hallmark from the Hoi era, I believe.
You lost your
Oh,
voice. No, I don't mean what is it. I mean, what's it doing there?
That's the wrong steak.
Wait,
Yes and no, says.
did you say it was a Hoi Koban?
Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable.
This isn't the first time today there's been talk about Hoi Koban.
It might be, yeah.
I've heard of pearls before swine, but I never heard of bouillon and bouillon.
I don't think you ever will again. It's extraordinary, though. This means...
Bouillon and bouillon. I certainly never expected to find a precious coin underneath this thick cut of meat. And it's from the Hoi era, too. That would make it really quite valuable.
It's well marinated in juices as well, look.
But are you thinking of eating it?
No, but the next time I order a steak at an expensive restaurant, one thing's for sure. My heart's going to be racing as I lift up the meat and peer underneath for a prize.
I think you might have been to the wrong end of the stick about this, Ranosuke.
A Koban coin underneath the steak. There's only one logical explanation.
Yeah, yes and no says
And there's
stole
nothing
it
under it.
from Curio Correcta.
The emblem on the side of the plate. Is it a cat?
It's a cow, obviously. Most likely because the restaurant's signature dish is beef steak. It seems a lot of different restaurants have their own unique tableware.
So this is the symbol of La Carnival, is it?
Okay.
This is it now. I've lost.
I love mid depression. Just like, let's look at the steak for a second.
And they're like, oh my
Still
goodness, there's a
depressed.
coin under it. And they get all excited and then afterwards, I've lost.
I've lost. There's no recourse, Ryonosuke. Ryonosuke, we've looked under the steak already. It's not over yet. Not until the final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Don't stop believing.
Stop believing.
Keep looking forward. No
Keep
matter
looking
what.
forward no matter what.
Street light.
Core.
People.
Believe in myself, really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself.
This evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way. I presume any further evidence examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary.
Yeah, Shady, his name is Curio Correcta.
Yeah. Because he's a curio collector.
Collector. Da-da-da-da-da.
Does the defense have any objection?
The bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all?
Yeah.
Your Excellency, please wait. This plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth. That's just the headline. This beef steak reveals another clue about the shocking truth.
You'll never believe. Mysterious item found underneath the steak. You'll not believe how it turns this case around.
The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak. Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial.
I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I have completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
Here, give me a second.
I see. As newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it?
Thank you, Your Excellency. It looks like Miss Brett is stepping away for a moment. So, we will wait before proceeding. I do not want her to miss anything. But she is returning.
Counsel for the defense, you now clearly show the court to what you are alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is the new clue to be found?
Is it on the steak? Is it below the steak? No, it's underneath.
Guess what? The text has to all go through again.
Oh no.
I couldn't say anything, and I was just doing. I was like, I did this when I played through. I'm gonna have to do this again.
But why? Like, if he knew that there was something, like, this is clearly indicating that Ryonosuke is clearly pulling at straws. Like, there should be conviction in him being like, yes, there's something underneath it. Right? Like, or is that just me?
I guess. But here we go.
Got it.
Good gracious, that's...
Come on!
What's an F?
one at that.
Have you tried maybe like moving the mic a little for your mouth to see if that'll cut out the clipping?
Miss Brett, this is in fact the beef steak you'd ordered at the restaurant the day in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat?
What a ridiculous question. How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what it is, but I want no part of it. I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat.
Shut up! Oh, that should be a command. Shut up.
That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in a moment of distraction.
Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen.
And it's not even like a modern currency. It's like an ancient coin.
Expensive coin.
An expensive ancient coin. They just accidentally left under a steak.
A rare Hoei Koban just happened to be underneath that piece of steak.
Intended.
If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now.
No, don't. He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency.
Yes, Counsel.
A rare Hoei Koban has just happens to be underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be relevant to the case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now.
Not even a lawyer.
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway.
Perhaps... No, still you.
Perhaps, little boy. You should realize that it is you who is irrelevant.
Even though I'm the one who's on trial here? The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under that stake.
The owner?
Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the koban that was found underneath the beef steak is...
Yeah.
I mean, Curio? But he could have already sold it to Yasanosa, but like I don't think so.
He said he never found it. Girl missing. Obviously, it can only be the antiques dealer and this owner of Rasute Curio Correctasan. Yeah, it is a long case, but I think we're still gonna reach the end tonight.
Curie? As in Mr. Cucumber something? Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable.
Oh, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct?
Yes, Your Excellency.
I remember him saying that he was up to something with his koban when it happened. At exactly the moment the gun was fired.
The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing?
Twerking, hunting for treasure.
My god, not what I expected.
Indeed, the Hoera Koban, my prize coin.
Then this Hoya Koban, do you mean to tell me?
No, please! Why would Korakuda-san's koban be sandwiched in between the victim's bisek and its plate? It makes no sense!
Yes! It makes no sense! Which is why I'm asking to bring Kurakuda-san back to the witness stand, so we can ask him.
Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here, without a moment's delay.
I can't believe we've come back round to that pair again. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch, a hunchback on Notre Dame, that if we chase down the real significance of this koban, we'll find the key element in this case.